Hi, and welcome to another QwikTouchPro video. In this video, I'm going to be modifying the standard 16:11 template a little bit. I'm going to add a pop-up that displays a few promotional items from the Keystroke Tutor database. So, first thing we'll do is open up our standard 16:11 template. Cancel the new template dialog. Application menu, open. Browse over to standard 16:11, and we'll open it up. And what we want to do, sorry, zoomed in with the mouse wheel there, is we want to make this button open up a pop-up full of promotional items. So let's add some text to this button to call it promo. And we want to add a macro to this button that when we click on it opens up another template that has some promotional items on it. So the first thing we have to do is create that pop-up template. So we'll go to the application menu, new, and this new template is going to be the same size as our standard template, 16:11, because it's just going to go right over the top of it. Full screen, same as our standard template. It's going to stretch and squeeze and scale and everything it has to do. Monitor 1 is correct. Primary, we're going to remove the check mark from the primary box here. There's a blog post to go into more detail on that, but the short answer is our standard 16:11 template is our primary template, and this template we're creating now is just a secondary pop-up template. Modal and topmost, same thing. There's some blog posts about those if you're interested. So we'll say OK. And the first thing I want to do with my new template is save it. So we're going to save it as promo pop-up. And we'll do save. And on this template we want a few buttons to ring up a few items. So let's create a button. Zoom in with the slider. So we've got our border on the screen. We're going to put a little text on top of that. Select both of those guys. Go to Controls and Group. And now we have a button we can work with. And let's ring up the clock first. And we'll make our clock button 2x1, and maybe give it a little background color here. A little thickness on the border. And now we want to add a macro to this button that rings up the clock item. So we'll go to the Controls menu with the clock button selected, choose Macro Editor, and what do we want to do when we click or touch the clock button? We want to send some keys to Keystroke, so that'll be the active program. We're going to send text, and the stock number for the clock I believe is 3. So we'll add that, and then we want to send a code. The code is going to be return, add code, then we'll add the macro. Drag this up so you can see it. So when I touch the clock button I'm going to send a 3, then a return. We will just save this template, go back to our standard 16:11, and now we're ready to wire up that pop-up template so we can see how that works. So same thing, we'll go under Macro Editor. When we touch the promo button, we want to show a template, which is under QwikTouchPro, show template. The template we want to show, hit browse, is our promotional pop-up template we're creating. Choose open. What do we want to do if the template's already running? Again, blog post about that, but we're going to say do nothing for now. And we'll hit add. Would you like to customize how this template is displayed? Now, when we initially set this template up, we said we wanted it full screen, monitor 1, whatever else we set, and we don't want to override that now, so we're going to say no. And there we go. When we click this button, we're just going to show template promo pop-up. We'll close that. We'll save our template, and we will preview it and see how we're doing. That opens this up. We'll clerk in, and if we hit our promo button, we see the clock button. So essentially what we're seeing here is the promotional template over the top of the standard template, so it's covering up our other buttons. And when we touch clock, it sends a stock number 3, and then it sends an enter, which adds clock to the invoice. Great, so we'll exit QwikTouchPro, go back into our editor, and let's go back to our pop-up menu and create a couple of more. So with clock selected, I'm going to go to Home, Copy, Paste another one on there, and let's make this button Golf Tees, and we want that to go to 2 lines so it fits a little better, and that's accomplished through the text wrapping icon over here. We'll click that, and we'll drag this button down, and let's make this one a Frisbee, and let's just change the colors on a couple of these guys real quick. Drag the slider around and get them a little better color than that maybe. And we're going to go in and we have our Golf Tees button, which right now if we check the macros on it is sending the number 3 and then a return, which isn't right. That's not the stock number for Golf Tees, so we want to fix that. So we'll go into our Controls menu with Golf Tees selected, choose the Macro Editor. And you can see because we copied the clock key, we still have all the macros that we assigned to it. So instead of wiping them out or creating new ones, we'll just highlight Send Text, click Edit Selected Action, and change it from stock number 3 to stock number 5. Click Update, and you can see that our text will now send a 5 instead of a 3. And we'll close that. We'll come down to Frisbee and do the same thing. Macro Editor, move it where you can see it. Highlight Send Text, edit the macro, and change it from stock number 3 to stock number 10, I believe. Update, close, and let's save this template again. Go back to our standard 16 by 11, preview it. Let's clear this transaction. Hit escape a couple times. And now under our promo we can add a clock, we can add golf tees, and we can add a Frisbee. We want to also have a way to close this template down. We want to be able to get back to our promotional button so we can open other templates. So we'll close QwikTouchPro, we'll go back into the editor, we'll go back one more time into our promo template, and we're going to go to the Home tab and we'll copy and paste our Frisbee key again. Just drag it down next in line, change this button to say Done. This will be the button we close, or click to close this template. Change the background color of that to red. Maybe change the font color to white, just for fun. And same thing now, we copied the macros from the Frisbee key, so we have send text 10 and return, and we don't want any of that this time. So we're going to go to Controls, Delete Macros for all selected controls, which is just the Done key, OK. And now we want to add a new macro to that, so we'll go into Macro Editor. And this one is going to close this template. So let's go to QwikTouchPro, Close Template, click Add. So when you click this, it's going to close template, which means close this template, the one that the Done button's on, which is the promo pop-up. So we hit Close, we'll go over, we'll save our template, back to our standard 16 by 11 template, preview, and let's clear our transaction again. Go to Promo, and now we can click the Done button. Bring up a Frisbee, maybe some golf tees, click Done, Promo, Clock, Done. So that works. So let's go back into our editor and promo pop up. So let's say instead of having a Done key, you want to be able to just automatically close this template every time the customer chooses an item. They hit clock, great, close the promo pop up and let them move on to something else. So let's just select those 3 keys, go to the Home tab, copy, paste, get a copy of them. And we're going to leave the text and the colors and everything the same, and the only change we're going to make on these keys is we're going to add another macro after it sends a 3. After it sends a return, we're going to close this promo pop-up template. So that's under Controls, Macro Editor. We're going to go to QwikTouchPro, Close Template, Add. You can see now we're going to send text 3, we're going to send a return, and we're going to close the template. And we need to do the same thing for the golf tees and the Frisbee keys, but there's a shortcut here. We can select both these keys at the same time. Go into the Macro Editor, add our macro, which is QwikTouchPro Close Template, and instead of Add, we're going to choose Append All, which will append this macro to the end of each selected control. So it's going to add it to the end of golf tees and Frisbee. Close Template, and now if we come through these, you'll see 3 Return Close Template, 5 Return Close Template, 10 Return Close Template. So we'll go back up and save. Go to our standard 16 by 11 template. We will preview it. One more time, we'll clear the transaction, escape past these menus, and choose our promo button. Now if we choose clock, it automatically closes our promotional item template behind it. Same thing with golf tees, same thing with Frisbee. And that concludes our video, and as always, thanks for watching.